As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to waste. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
In the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
Oh yeah, you damn right. It's me. It's the Fantasy Football Hustler, and I'm bringing you FNT. And here with the man, the myth, the legend, Bogard Scott free.
Yes. They said it's Bogard Scott free. What? They said it's Luigi. What? They said the 49ers wouldn't beat the Cowboys. What? I said the Cowgirls. What? I said the police. What? The sheriff. What? Uncle Jerry's pissed. What? The Cowboys are pissed. What? Cowboys fans blaming the refs. What? The Raiders fans blaming the refs. What? They said they won't let Joe Burrow smoke a cigar no more. What? I made that last one up.
Man. Shout out to everyone who's up in the chat. We got Derek up in the chat. We got a lot of Niner fans who follow this channel. Derek's a Niner fan. I know Anthony's all about the Niners. Hess in the building. What up? Let's get ready to smoke it up.
Hey, man, it's so crazy because throughout the course of the week, I didn't like a lot of these motherfuckers, like these talking heads. I didn't like these motherfuckers picking my Niners. I felt like there was too many people on us that it was jinxing us. You know what I mean? But I stay consistent with my breakdown. It was, what we do best, they're poor at defending. And that's the run. And that's, against the tight end, even though we didn't really use Kittle like that at all. You know what I'm saying? But here's the one thing that I did say last week is that it won't matter who's covering Debo. Debo is a different type of,
he's uncoverable.
They even when they would be like, okay, Diggs is on him, then they'd move him into the backfield. And it's like, now Diggs, you have to go in there and help tackle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not his strong suit.
No. And it was just like the Cowboys got really exposed. And to be honest, we weren't really doing nothing too special. You know what I mean? We weren't doing nothing outside what we normally do. Yeah,
it's crazy.
We didn't have to go into our playoff bag necessarily yet. You know what I mean?
That's what I was gonna say. We know Shanahan's got a lot of crazy plays, a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and it seems like they didn't even have to flip back, enough pages to get to those. Mm-hmm. Everything was just working from the jump. And when you go up 7-0 and the defense is kind of just holding, were the 49ers ever down in that game after taking that lead?
We first we get the field goal. Oh no, first we get the touchdown on and then we get a field goal, and then that was pretty much it the rest of the game like that. I did get nervous. When we were, when they were driving at the end of the game. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Obviously because it's Dak Prescott, but here's my thing. If I remove the hat, and I'm not a Niner fan, because I'm very thankful for the Cowboys helping us win. 14 penalties. You know what I mean?
What can go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah, but if I was to take off the hat and just look at the game in its entirety, what was the Cowboys thinking? Why didn't remember all week I was saying their plan of attack should be shred our outside corners, shred our secondary.
I thought Dak was going to do something, because how do I know that that's the weakest spot on the 49ers, but the Cowboys don't?
Exactly. And like Kellen Moore, you know, all these guys, it's like what's funny about it too is like just looking down the road, like those Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn might not be there. Mike McCarthy ain't it. You know what I mean? And Kellen Moore, he was calling the plays. I still don't think he's it either. You know what I mean? Because
they're too used to playing all these games versus the NFC least. And we saw both teams. And I don't care what anybody says. I mean, yeah, the Cowboys only lost by 6 points, but you lost by 6 points and literally never had a chance in this game except for the last drive.
Yeah, and here's another thing. Why does my man Cedric, hey, Mr. Wilson, like a focal point of the passing attack and not lamb chops? You know what I mean?
Stupid.
It's crazy to me. And our corners are really bad. Check the scout report. You feel me? Like when they're in their offensive meetings all week, their scout report shows that our secondary is ass.
Yep.
We'll take it.
And Anthony's over here was crying earlier when you were getting your whats. JP's in the building. He said, what up, all the Cowboy fans. Keon, what up, bro? Said, damn, need Cup to have a monster game in order to beat you down by 16. Plus, you got Connor. I hope Connor's playing. I mean, because if he's not playing, that might, I mean, you might just seal it right there. We still haven't heard shit about it. That game time decision.
I'm wondering if he just doesn't go. I mean, what about Chase? What's Chase Edmonds' status?
I know that he was getting in limited practices.
Okay.
Let me look and see if there's anything on Twitter.
Because they had another guy, Benjamin, after Chase Edmonds. It was another guy. Against the Cowboys, there was another guy getting in there eating too. Or not the Cowboys. Who do they play? Against the Seahawks. That's who it was.
Uh-huh.
In week 18, they had another running back. I forget who it was. It's the same thing with like this guy Wesley pops up out of nowhere, whatever his name. I don't remember.
If that's your real name.
And Anton. It's like Antoine.
Yeah.
Antoine.
Antoine.
Antony.
Yeah.
I can't read.
Big BS said Bogart called the Cowboys jinx. I was here.
Yeah, I mean, because I remember that day, someone in the comment was like, "Yeah, fuck the Niners, Cowboys, blah blah blah." And then I got a little upset. I said, "Hey, hold on, this is the best team that the Cowboys have played all year." You know what I mean? And they barely beat mediocre teams.
Yeah,
you know? Like they barely beat the Chargers early on in the year. And then you know what's funny is like week 1 is so far away, but I swear to God, the Cowboys fans kept going back to that. Oh, we almost beat the reigning champs week 1. Bro, that was week 1, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And I wouldn't even say they almost beat them, because it was like almost like this style of game that they played where it was like not ultra conservative, but like there was times that you could try to tear the top off the defense and they just
was a shootout. It was a full-on shootout week 1, and Zerline missed the extra point.
Wasn't it like 27-28 or something?
It was a back and forth affair, and the Cowboys actually had the lead in their mid fourth quarter, and then obviously Tom Brady comes back and snatches it away from them. But
yeah, 31-29. I mean, that's what the score was. Like, I mean, I guess that's a shootout. But when I think shootout, I think Rams Chiefs. 50-something to 49 or whatever the fuck it was.
See, that's very rare, though. You know what I mean? Like a shootout is not.
These two teams could do it.
It's like late 20s, like 27 to 30, like that can suffice as a shootout.
Yeah, Cowboys can't get into any shootouts and actually hold it up, because like any times like they're getting over 30 and their opponents are getting over 30, they're like losing.
I'll tell you this much. Dak and all them post hype, because they weren't that great in fantasy. I'm gonna love them next year. We're gonna get some value. You know what I mean? So I felt like even just like I wanted CeeDee Lamb so bad this year. He was on literally every single one of my championship teams. He didn't do much, but it's like, you know, he was someone I was just actively drafting everywhere in the goddamn.
I had him on one of my teams, and that team sucked.
And here's another thing too with CeeDee Lamb is it's like him and Dak are never on the same page.
Yeah. That's one thing that Stu came into Discord and said. He said it was weird. I mean, Dak and CD like not on the same page.
And for this whole year, there was a couple big CD games, but the matchups were like, you know, the matchup said it was going to be. You know what I mean? Yeah. Otherwise, it'd be like he's in an in route and Dak throws it out, or vice versa. It's an out route, Dak throws it inside. Like it's like I don't know, or like. Even like, you know, he's calling an audible and he's trying to redirect CeeDee Lamb. Like, go over there, motherfucker. You're going to the wrong side. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
let me shout out everyone else in the chat, and then I got something funny that you want to hear. A big poll that I put up in the fantasy football group. What up, Antonio? He said, "Bang bang, Bucks Nation." Ha. Ronald, what up, bro? And Big Kong said that fake punt was clutch by the Cowboys, but what's up with special teams being out there, and then they got the first down?
That was weird. You know what my take on that is I mean, they wanted us, I think they were trying to catch us with 12 while we substituted. So in order to do that, they kept their guys on there. And then it's funny because it's 1st and 10, right? But then they go ahead and they just take the delay of game because they foolishly thought they could get us. And, you know, that's just you know, good heads up football there on the Niners part.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it works, it's genius. It's a genius move, but it didn't work, and they took the delay of game. And then eventually, 3 plays later, punted it. You know what I'm saying? So that was all for nothing.
What up, Zoo Crew? Said Edmonds no tag. I think Edmonds is good to go. And Anthony said Antoine Wesley. Yeah, or Antone, Antoine probably. And said Stephen A's having a field day. You already know, man. He started it yesterday by just laughing on Twitter.
Hey, you know what, though? I bet you anything, this motherfucker, see, I don't pay attention to his shit, but I wouldn't doubt all week he was on the Niners just because. You know what I mean?
Well, he already says that they always fail, like when it comes down to the big moments.
I will say, though, like, if it wasn't us, it was going to be somebody else. They weren't going to get past the Buccaneers. You know what I mean? Like they weren't going to, and if they did get past the Buccaneers and say they had to go into Green Bay for the NFC title, like Uncle Jay's got to pay people off or something because there's no way they're beating Green Bay neither. Like the Cowboys, what was awesome about them is that they displayed that star power that we're used to seeing, and they're in a division that if you're a casual fan, you think, oh, this is one of the best teams. No. You know what I'm saying? Not when like a great defense comes down like the Broncos.
Especially when 6 out of your 17 games are against like the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah, and it's because the Cowboys were one of the worst teams last year. They had this type of schedule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, outside of their division, obviously, because they're going to play them regardless.
Oh, yeah. Well, and that's what I was talking. I'm just talking about interdivision, like garbage.
Bengals, we're going to really see what the Bengals got next year when they have a number 1 schedule. You know what I mean?
And X Nelly said, wish y'all boys could talk about fantasy football year round. Hope is all is well during the offseason. We do talk about fantasy
we ain't going nowhere. I mean, it's not, you know, obviously it's playoffs and we're in a bunch of fantasy playoff leagues. So we are going to pretty much be here daily all the way up to like the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? But, you know, after that, it'll taper off just a little bit. You know what I mean? But we're still going to be around because we got Dynasty. We got
we're going to be talking a grip of rookie stuff. I'm going to be putting a bunch of like highlight reels for like the top rookies that are going to be coming out in fantasy for your dynasty peeps. And then even guys that could be viable in redraft. I mean, there's a lot of these wide receivers. We see guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like if you had the patience to draft him and hold him, he might've won you some championships. Or if you're just on it to where you pick him up off the waiver wire mid-season because you know he's going to be the shit.
Hey,
too.
Look, anywhere I have St. Brown in Dynasty, I'm selling him right now. I'm serious.
He's the shit. Like, I mean,
somebody finna buy him from me because that's probably not gonna repeat. You know what I mean?
he did it with Tim Boyle.
But there's other factors here still. DeAndre Swift being hurt. You know, what's his name? Hawkinson. You know what I mean? This is a real thing. I mean, we found fantasy gold in trash teams all the time. Like shout out to Allen Robinson and Allen. What was the other Allen? Allen Hearns.
Yeah, yeah, I'm the Jag.
Gold on a trash team, but it was such a concentrated market that if he's throwing the ball, it's going to one or the other. You know what I mean? Well, I gotta find my cartridge. That shit fell.
Let's see. Chase said Dallas and the Evil Empire have fallen. Life is good. Oh yeah. Since he needs to invest in that O-line, hell yeah, they do. They better do that this year. I mean, yeah, obviously they couldn't pass up on Chase, but yeah, they better do something. And Nelly said, I've never done a dynasty. Exactly what is it? So dynasty, you keep the same team from year to year. I mean, minus whoever you trade. I mean, you can still pick up people and drop people. But in the ones that I do, there's like 19 starters, like 50 total roster spots. So there's really nobody to pick up on a regular basis in the on waivers. You know, like you really got to be picking up guys like before they're even a thing, maybe with IDP players. But that's really what it is. We're going to be starting our drafts like right after the Super Bowl, like a couple days after the Super Bowl. So the drafts happen a lot earlier. It's longer clock, so you can actually like make trades for draft picks and things like that. And it's awesome. It's just something good to mix in. Redraft leagues are great, but Dynasty keeps us flowing year round. And Derek said, hoping Bosa and Warner both good next week. Definitely going to need them. Definitely going to need those two. That is for sure. And Dion said, waivers bone dry. Hell yeah. And Ronald said, my Eagles definitely sucked ass, but Dallas losing made the day better. I bet. And Antonio said that game's going to be awesome. Hell yeah. I'm excited. I am excited. And I think pretty much all, well, I mean 49ers, I guess they were a little bit of an upset, but they were one of the teams that I picked. I want to wait till Bogard gets back here so I can tell him the stats of the poll that I posted up. I posted 2 polls. Oh, here he goes. All right, perfect. So I posted 2 polls in the fantasy football group, okay? And it was who's winning this weekend in the AFC. And I put all 6 teams, and I said choose one team from each game. I did it for the NFC as well. So the most votes was the Bengals. 254 people voted for the Bengals. For the
Tennessee?
No. This is last week. So I just want to give you last week. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to post it tomorrow.
Okay, how many people were on the Cowboys?
So hold on. That's what I'm saying. Let me just run through the AFC real quick. So the Bengals had 254, the Chiefs 247, the Bills and the Patriots were close, 180 to 105. Wow. But the top 3 teams voted on ended up moving on. Only 57 and 56 voted for the Raiders and the Steelers. Now, for the NFC, this was the one that I always thought was more interesting. So the Bucks, the number 1 team on there, 292 votes total for them. The Rams, 224 votes total. But then the third team with the most votes, the 49ers, 191 to the Cowboys, 154.
Okay, look at this. That's a combination of 49er fans and everybody else.
And Cowboy haters. I've been seeing all the comments. It's been funny. People are, the Cowboy fans are coming out and they're getting a lot of shit talked to them over the weekend before the game even happened.
Yeah, and like, I swear to God, the Cowboy fans are happy that they had that little referee shit in the end. Because then at least they can fucking use that and have something to blame instead of being sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that they came out there and played sorry, had a sorry-ass game plan. Like, listen, the 49ers beating them, that shouldn't surprise anybody because when you really take a deep dive at their schedule, it was cake. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't been tested.
We went down the list. They played like maybe 5 games against like top tier teams.
Even when they played the Chiefs, that was when Patrick Mahomes was going through his slump. Remember, he was bad the whole month of October, basically, and that's when they caught him.
Yeah. They had a lot of injuries on defense. Their defense was really whack. Like
there was no Chris Jones, no Frank Clark at the time. I think Les Snead was out that game too. Like they had hella pieces out on that defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I thought you'd like to hear that. So I mean, other than the Rams, the group has been right with the amount of votes. You know, so far 5 out of 5, and then the Rams are next.
I like it. I like their version. Because I like the Rams too tonight. I mean, and it's not just because I picked them early on in the year. It's because I feel like I just feel like the Sean McVay and his, the fact that he's been there before. As a coach, a lot of the players have been there. It's like the one guy who hasn't been there for real. Like any player, like it's OBJ and Matt Stafford. Like they've only had one playoff appearance each. And they didn't win those games. You know what I mean? And it's like, been on the outside looking in this whole time. So I mean, here you got Cooper Kupp.
David brought it up earlier. JJ Watt's playing tonight. I mean, we know that it's like JJ Watt's like career goal. I mean, I know they made it to the playoffs once, in his career, but he's been waiting.
The thing is that the couple times they did make it too, I think he was injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you got Chandler Jones. He's been there with the Patriots. You know what I mean? Who else? I mean, outside of that, there's a ton of inexperience, especially with Cliff Kingsbury, man. And like Vance Joseph is funny because if he can't get pass rush with his defense, it's just all over for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how the trend has been all year. You know what I mean?
It's got to be. I mean, the Cardinals' defense is what's been stepping it up for them and what's been keeping them in games like all year. If they don't have a defensive plan for the Rams, I mean, the Rams are going to get it because I think that the Cards could do enough offensively if they got to be able to slow down Cooper Kupp and Stafford. Like, I mean, man, they're just beating all over everybody.
Yeah, I mean, and then not to mention you still have OBJ. You know what I mean? And it's like here's Sean McVay. That's another guy who it's like. He's probably going to dip into his playoff bag. You know what I mean?
I think, because, this is a team they've already faced twice. They know each other pretty well, and, Kingsbury and Sean McVay, how many times have they gone off? This is Kingsbury's 3rd year in the NFL, right? With the Cards?
Yeah, so they've played each other. This will be their 7th. This will be their 7th meeting.
And I know that McVay has gotten the better of them over the 7th.
Yeah, for sure. I would imagine. I mean, I know Kyler, his rookie year, he did make some noise. I can't remember the exact splits. Either way, we already know Cliff Kingsbury. It's like, is he going to show up and call a masterful game? You know what I mean? Is Kyler Murray going to show up and look like he wants to play football that day? Have you ever noticed that about him?
That sometimes he doesn't look like he's ready to play football?
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't even look like he gives a fuck. Like he's just like, he's just going through the motions to get the game over. And then there's other times he goes out there and he's just laser focused. He's on fire. It's really like one of the other.
This is a playoff game. I mean, I would expect that from him, but that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, it's on offense. It's going to take Kyler putting the team on his back.
Yeah. Like, okay, all the times they were scared to let him run, he got to run today.
Yeah.
Tonight he got to run. You know what I mean? Like,
you're eaten alive by Aaron Donald.
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say, if he has 100 yards rushing, they probably win the game.
Yeah, because that means he's getting off.
Exactly. I mean, let me ask you this: are you really scared of Christian Kirk, or Anthony Twani Wesley, or AJ Green? You know what I mean? I mean, like, not if I'm Jalen Ramsey or Darius Williams, I'm not scared of them motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Zach Ertz could be the X factor here too. Maybe even a Rondell Moore. You know what I mean? Like maybe
I really think that Rondell Moore is going to be like in Cliff Kingsbury's like playoff bag of tricks, because like he's the guy who could do a lot of random shit, and people probably aren't accounting for him.
I mean, all it's going to take is some crazy pass rush, which they're going to do. The Rams, right? crazy pass rush, and they just hit Rondell with a screen behind him, and he goes to the house.
Yeah.
Like that's very possible because that's the time we've seen that out of Rondell Moore. It's just not only injury and COVID, like, you know, he just ended up being a rookie. Maybe now that the season's done, you can't call these guys rookies no more. Maybe this is, you know, a Rondell. Like, listen, man, it's funny about the playoffs because sometimes you just see these players come out of fucking nowhere. Remember Chris Matthews?
Yeah.
For the Seahawks?
Yeah.
He was a rookie that year. Goes out, fucking scores 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl against fucking Darrell Reeves. He caught one on Darrell Reeves. It was like, what the fuck?
Because what's the most games that you could play in college? Is it 12 or 13 in 1 year?
Listen, I know it used to be 10 in the regular season. And then, like, you know, you have all your bowl games. And then if you get into the playoffs. So I'm not too sure. You know what I mean? Maybe 14.
Even if it is. So, yeah, if it was like 11 games, I mean, I guess now because they have the playoffs, like you got like more games than normal. But, I mean, for most college teams, yeah, maybe 11 games. So just getting the 17 games under your season, I mean, shit, that's almost a season and a half, you know, for college. Like, so it's just a lot more coaching, a lot more reps, a lot more game time. That's for sure. So here's Kyler's stats against the Rams this year. So when they played each other in week 4, when they were in LA, he went 24 completions, 32 attempts, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 rushes, 39 yards, got sacked 3 times.
Okay, but then that was the James Conner game too, though, right? I remember James Conner went crazy. James Conner and Chase Edmonds. That first meeting.
Let's see. Yeah, James Conner had the 2 touchdowns on the ground that game.
So that's where it was. Because I know they shellacked the Rams that one.
Yeah, and it was still a good game for him because he didn't have any interceptions or anything like that. I mean, 26 points, 26 and a half points.
Yep.
It was this last game when they played against him. I mean, he did okay, but he didn't have any touchdowns. He only got 18 and a half points. He went 383 through the air, but no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and then 7 rushes for 61 yards.
Was that a Monday night? Oh, no, it wasn't a Monday night. Either way, yeah. See, so this is what are you thinking here? I'm not opposed to saying that this is still going to be like a high scoring game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think both teams can get into the 30s. I guess it's going to be the defenses, though. That's really what it's going to come down to because, I mean, both these teams got crazy-ass defense. It's going to take Kyler getting out of the box, and, I mean, they're not going to be able to rush 6 every single time or 5 every single time if Kyler's getting out of the pocket, rushing, breaking off 10 at a time. You know, they'll have to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Kyler does do some things. I mean, we've seen it happen both ways. A lot's going to be coming down to James Conner. I wish I knew if he was going to play or not.
I mean, you know what? If there's no James Conner, bro, I think this is where like Rondell becomes interesting now because like that's just another form of running the ball, just with them little short tap passes or just the shorter passes in general. You know what I mean? Like that. But see, and that's another thing too. Is like, can we trust Cliff Kingsbury to like know this?
I hate Cliff Kingsbury's play calling.
Right? Because whenever you're talking
beef
with Sean McVay or a Kyle Shanahan or a Matt LaFleur, like, you know, the creativity and play calling is finna be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's gonna be tailored to the defense that they're playing against. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know about that with Cliff Kingsbury.
Hopefully Kyler's got some shit in his head already that he's gonna check it down to or change it at the line or something.
Hey man, if the Cardinals win, it's gonna be because Kyler Murray has like a fucking career type of game. You know what I mean?
And it's got to be. I mean, I think even more on the defense than Kyler Murray because if the Rams go over, if they go well over 30, I mean, the Cardinals aren't catching them.
Yeah, I mean,
they had a chance last game when the Rams scored 30.
See, the last time too, when the first meeting this year, right, where the Cardinals shellacked them, literally whatever Matt Stafford and them did, it was like in garbage time. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that was the one game where Cooper Kupp had 92 yards. I think it was like his lowest outing.
Yeah, his worst one of the year. Let me go back and double check that.
Yeah.
And Hess said, how many turnovers will Matt Stafford have?
2. You have guys like Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt up front. Who's other buddy up there?
Yeah, that was his worst game. I mean, not the last time that they played, but that first time when they got their asses whooped. Yeah, he only had 11.5 points. His worst game of the year. I think he's only had like 3 games underneath 20 points, and that was his farthest one under 20 points.
Yeah.
And he went 5 for 64 on 13 targets. But they didn't hold him down last time. I mean, last time he was eaten. He went 13 receptions out of 15 targets, 123 yards, and a tug.
That's how they win again, bro.
But it was also, it's crazy too. Also, one of his worst yard per completion or yard per reception totals.
You want to know what I'm thinking too with their running situation for the Rams? I feel like if Cam if they're bringing back Cam Akers, right? Because they already got him in the mix last week. Like, I would assume maybe he gets like 30% of the touches, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that might even be a little bit generous too.
Yeah, but I also think too that's kind of detrimental to Sony because Sony's a guy. He's a volume guy. He needs
20. He needs
20. Exactly. So I'm like, so for fantasy it's probably annoying, but for reality, I'm like, if you're switching these guys, like I just don't see them. I don't see them like switching running backs out on when they're going hurry up or obviously, right? But wouldn't that make you? Well, if you're the defense and you have Sony Michel down there, you know what I'm saying, in the red zone, right? They pass him the ball enough that they know, like, okay, we have to look out for both, right?
Yeah.
Cam Akers, I feel like if they can get him going though, bro, you know what I mean? It's gonna be annoying for fantasy, like I said, but like for reality purposes, bro.
I wish I knew how good his Achilles was.
Right? Because he's hella talented. Like it's insane that they're getting him back. It's almost equivalent to them getting like Derrick Henry coming back to the Titans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is that type of game-changing player, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping because I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and if he's getting, how about this? If he's getting most of the work, that means we know he's actually good. Like, you know what I mean? Last week was kind of just getting his feet under him again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, highly unlikely he gets a big ass workload, but I'm saying if he does, that means he's good. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I just saw this meme right here. It said Colin Kaepernick hasn't been in the NFL for 4 seasons and has more playoff wins than Dak and Tony Romo combined.
Yep. Hey, you know what? Baker Mayfield, Joe Burrow, Kirk Cousins, they all got the same amount as Dak. You know what I mean? Like, see, this is what's funny because then you have guys like have been in it forever and never even sniffed the playoffs, like Fitzmagic, or like, you know what I mean? Who else will never sniff? Sam Darnold, he'll never sniff the playoffs.
Yeah, and Smokey the Cat, give us some of the over unders in the lines because I don't really research it like that because I'm in California, so yeah, I'm not even doing too many over unders, but hit us with some of those and we'll give you some answers.
I bet you it's 47. The under over, it's got to be in the late 40s. It's not. I don't think it's going over 50 because the Niners. I remember when I looked. Niners had the highest point total, and they didn't hit it. But I even said on the show, whenever we were broadcasting the last time, I said I like the under in that Niners game.
Yeah,
that was too many points.
It went under.
Yeah.
At Zoo Crew says Stafford 0-3 in the playoffs. Kyler will have a better total game. Stafford throwing 2 picks at the least.
That's right. He has 3 playoff appearances. That's right, because he had the loss to the Cowboys, where it was it was clearly a pass interference. And then in true karma, the next week, they ruled against the catch for Des Bryant. You know what I mean? But there was a clear pass interference call that, and against it was against I forget who the corner was, but the referee he threw, so he was on Calvin Johnson. But the referee threw the flag, and then everyone looked around, and then he picked the flag back up. It was like, and Matthew Stafford was hot. I remember that one. I remember he lost. Green Bay went here.
Damn, you're hella in the Matrix.
I remember who else he played in the playoffs, man. Because I know Jim Codwell got him in there a couple times.
You're all the way in the Matrix right now.
Oh.
And Ertz will eat tonight, and running lanes for Kyler. That's what we hope. That's what we hope. And Hess said Edmonds should eat too. Yep. And Anthony, let's go Cardinals for fantasy purposes. Yep. I need Kyler, I need Edmonds, and I need Connor. Pretty sure I have all three of those guys mixed out throughout all my my playoff leagues. And Antonio, I got Murray and Edmonds. Let's go Cardinals. My opponent has Sony and Stafford. Oh, man. Big Dukaroo. Big Dukaroo. Micavelli, what up? What up? So I just picked up some gas tanker. Let's get it. Let's smoke it up. Let's smoke it up.
So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Roll a fatty for this pimp daddy. Smoke weed every day.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. Weed is from the herb. God put this here for me and you. Take advantage, man.
David's also have Edmonds. Tonight, Francisco has Sony. I also have Higbee going. Good luck, dude. Man, some of these matchups, I just got matched up with the wrong people. And then a couple people got matched up with the wrong person, got matched up with me in like the couple leagues that I have Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, just killing it. All right, Smokey the Cat. OBJ over 45 yards, more over 17 yards. I think I would do that. I really think he's going to get the ball. And Kyler over 40 yards rushing. I think so. Let's see. So the two times that he faced him, first time he had 39. Second time he had 61. Yeah, I'm gonna take the over on Kyler's rushing. OBJ, that one's tough. I want to take the over, but I think I would take the under. And then Ertz, 56 yards. I feel like I want to take the under on that. I feel like he's gonna eat in the red zone, but usually doesn't get too much yak. Antonio said after yesterday, Najee on my hate list forever. Yeah, I'm really upset about the places that I got him because he was one of those guys. We already knew that the Steelers were going to lose, and he kept falling and kept falling. I thought he could have at least one good week of work, and nope. Let's see. Anthony said I got Higbee in the super draft lineups. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. And Zoo said Chandler Deacon Jones going to wreak havoc. Hell yeah. Nice. And Smokey the Cat him in San Diego using the Underdog app. I like it. When are you going to get on Super Draft Pro, bro? Get on it, man. Get on it. I'm putting the link in the chat. $20, $50, or $100 a month. I mean, I'd recommend the $100 a month. Then you're $3. That's $3 a day that it's coming down to. And we're bringing lineups every single day. And going to be back on here pre-gaming with you guys, going over some Super Draft Pro lineups. But yeah, shit is fun. Oh, and don't forget, if you guys want to get in on the squares, so it is already filled up for this week. But let me put the let me throw it up here so you guys can see it real quick. But if you want to get into the squares, I'm gonna put the link to the Discord in the chat. It's a separate Discord. It's not the Patreon Discord. We already filled this up. We filled up 5 sheets. We filled up 5 sheets this week. But go get into the Discord chat. We also got the weekly pick'em as well. So just get in there, hit me up if you got any questions. You'll see the spot where you can ask them. And yeah, we're gonna have some fun doing this. And dang it, Bogard is all the way in the Matrix. So I'm gonna smoke another bowl. We'll see if he comes back. And if not, we'll call it a session. And JC Money, I'm not sure if they have their show today. I think they might be skipping a day, and I'll be back here about an hour before game time. What time's game time start? Let's see, 5:15. So yeah, maybe about 4:20. I'll hop on here if there's going to be some other guys on here. We'll go over some super draft lineups, and yeah, have a big session before the game. Here we go. One more. Let's get one more. See if Bogey comes up. And he said, what's the strain? The strain is Sour Apple OG. Oh, yeah. Been getting some heavy shit. That's why I've been like more tired lately. It's getting ripped. All right. All right.
Yeah. I said I was in the Matrix.
What?
I said with Neo.
What?
With Morpheus.
What?
Did I say Neo? What? Not the R&B singer. What? With the big ass head. What? Neo had a big ass dome.
Okay, and JC Money said no show today due to the game starting early. Okay. All right. So no show for JC Money Design. They'll be back tomorrow. And we got football today anyways, so we'll be back for that. Oh, yeah.
Hey, shout out to JC Money and the coach, man. They've been killing it. I'll be mad. I'll be mad that I'll tune in just to bullshit and be like, I'm number 8 in the chat and troll, and then I'll be forgetting to put my lineups in. I'm like, fuck, what am I doing?
Yeah, I love their picks. And Antonio said, did you leave to make the call, Bogard?
I sure did. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make some calls for this Green Bay game. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. Going into Green, and like my Niners going in again into Green Bay. You know what I'm saying? It's Matt LaFleur. I'm on record for saying he's a Shanahan ripoff because he is, a Shanahan disciple, and like it's the little nuances. They both run a zone run scheme. Shanahan likes the outside zones. LaFleur loves the inside zone. That's why you see little ass Aaron Jones getting knee injuries all the time because he's running tackles and shit with his little ass. You know what I mean? But the big difference is they have Aaron Rodgers under him, and we have essentially like a glorified bus driver. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not a bus, maybe it's a Ferrari. You know what I mean? And Jimmy just needs to drive this thing. And the difference of this Green Bay team is, to me, is bro, when they got rid of Mike Pettin, because he was a trash coordinator. Like this guy, like they just could not stop the run. You know what I mean? This year they're one of the better run defenses, and they played against some decent running backs. You know what I mean? It's not like it was fugazi like the Cowboys run defenses. You know what I mean? Where they look good on paper, but they're really not good. You know what I mean? Because they didn't play no running backs for real. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even when they did, they got ate up like Javonte Williams and Gordon. You know what I mean? That Austin Eckler went crazy on him. You know what I mean? Shit, even fucking Jarrett the Parrot Patterson.
Yeah.
He went off on them. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? So Green Bay's not one of those teams, though. You know what I mean? This is going, and I'm already made peace. This could serve as a phenomenal reverse jinx because I really believe this, but we're one of those teams. I feel like we don't belong. That's probably the attitude in the locker room, but the reality is we don't belong. And I feel like Green Bay is one of the teams that could be a team of destiny this year. So we might just be a speed bump for them. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the way it's gonna look on paper. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And Ronald said, "Have you tried the new THC Zero stuff?" No, I have no idea what that is. He said it's pretty good. He's pretty good if you like the vape. It's supposed to be 3 times stronger than the real stuff.
Oh,
Never heard about it.
it's funny. I got real confused. I was like, what is this, like Coke Zero, where it's like it sucks? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, 3 times. Okay. Listen, you gave me 1 time. What? 2 times? What? 3 times though. You feel me? Like, sign me up.
And Antonio said this Chiefs Bengals game gonna be fire also too. Yeah. Let me see. What
Not Chiefs Bengals, it's Chiefs Titans. It's Bills Chiefs. And that's gonna be insane.
Yeah, Bengals Titans. That's happening Saturday. And then we got 49ers Packers happening on Saturday also.
You want to know what's scary for the Bengals? They lost. They potentially are going to be without 4 D tackles, like on their entire depth chart.
Yeah.
Right up front. And now you have Derek the fucking King Henry. You know what I mean? Even at 80%, like this is like throwing him a bone here. Like, okay, you're 80% maybe at best right now, but we're gonna go ahead and just play our 5th string fucking tackles against you.
Yeah. And then the Bucks and whoever wins this game, be going up the early Sunday game.
You know what's crazy is the way a lot of these things are working out is it's a lot of these teams that are familiar with each other. Like if the Bucks play the Rams again, they've already played this year. You know what I mean? And they whooped on Tom Brady and them. Tom Brady don't like that shit. He remembers that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would be fun to see Kyler Murray versus the Bucks. You know what I mean? Because at least we know that they are going to throw the ball enough, and that's the weaker part of the Buccaneers defense. You know what I mean? But Kyler Murray's not, he's probably not going to have a big game on the ground if it's them that play the Bucks. You know what I mean? Like they could make Kyler Murray one-dimensional, which might not be bad because he's a phenomenal passer. You know what I mean? But I still like the Rams to move forward. And then bro, it's like that's where it's like, man, I almost don't want to bet against the GOAT. Like I feel like the way things are falling into place, we're probably going to see the Bucks Packers part 2.
It could be. It could be. I mean, Bucks are looking pretty great right now. I mean, I know it's the Eagles that they're going up against, but they got a lot of defenders back. I mean, if they get Lenny back,
you know what though? If the Rams, whoever it is, the Rams or the Cards, I will say Tom Brady's going to get whooped on because the Eagles were able to penetrate and touch Brady a bunch of times. Like how many times they sacked him? 5?
Yeah. They had a couple of they had 2 of the offensive linemen went out or whatever.
Exactly. And then I think Christian whatever his name is, he had convinced them to let him back in the game, and he didn't look good. You know what I mean? So because now we're talking Aaron Donald, my man Leonard Floyd, fucking Von Miller. You know what I mean? And then you got, if not them, the Cardinals with, Chandler Jones and Jordan Hicks and goddamn J.J. Watt.
What up, ZP? What's going on, bro?
What up, ZP?
So what game are you looking forward to most out of those 4? I mean, taking, your 49ers,
I mean,
random aside.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not looking forward to that Niners game. That's where you see the fan in me. I'm just terrified because it sucks that I love Aaron Rodgers so much. This is his year to me, especially after seeing it. Because I did pick the Rams before the year started, and then Green Bay comes out and it's Darren Rodgers week 1, not Aaron Rodgers. Remember that?
Yep.
And it's like then he just flipped the switch on purpose. It was just wow, this is the Green Bay Packers defense, bro. But yeah, aside from that, I'm really looking forward. I'm looking forward to all these games. I ain't gonna lie to you. The Bills Chiefs, what? And this is part two. You know what I mean? And the Bills already done went up in. They were already done went up in to Kansas City this year in primetime and whooped on the Chiefs. You know what I mean?
That's one that I'm looking forward to most.
Yeah, but see, there's some differences here. You know what I mean? You don't have Tre'Davious White, who basically erased Tyreek Hill last time.
Yeah.
And did Tyreek Hill all of a sudden, like maybe that COVID took a couple week toll on him, because last night he was on fire. He was turning on the burners like nothing again.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just right in time. Like it's gonna be some shit, man. Then I love the Bengals. Look at the way this game sets up. The Bengals Titans. Bengals are they're gonna be bad against the run. I'm just gonna say that now. Whether it's a limited Derrick Henry or it's a full-on platoon with Foreman and everybody else involved as well, the Titans are gonna be able to run on them. You know what I mean? Awuzie is probably like what is he? Their number 2 corner. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to be again on Julio. You know what I mean? Like this is the playoffs too. You only need one big game, right, to move on. You know what I'm saying? But then look on the other side.
Titans are going to be bad against the pass.
They're going to be bad against the pass. So it's like it's set up to be like, a close game where the Titans are definitely dominating time of possession, but the Bengals are just shredding through the air. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm excited for that one a lot.
And I know the 49ers don't belong, but I bet it's still going to be a good game. I mean, hopefully it's a high-scoring game. Both teams getting in the 30s somehow.
I worry about the injury for Jimmy in the cold.
Yeah.
And if our run game can't get going and we got to throw it, you know what I mean? I will say Kittle, this might be the Kittle game finally. Because if you look at it, Kittle is doing everything else that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so is Juszczyk, and so is all our receivers. So, you know what I mean? This could be because let's be honest too. The Packers have given up some production to tight ends. It's not like they're shutting down tight ends. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And this is another game where we played them this year. A lot of these teams in the playoffs have played each other already this year, outside of the Bengals Titans, right? You know what I mean? There's a possibility the Rams play the Bucks again. Obviously, we played Green Bay in a thriller on Sunday night earlier this year, where obviously Aaron Rodgers, the fucking GOAT, no timeouts, 27 seconds left. You know what I mean? And he gets down the field gets him in a field goal position to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we were in that game. Jimmy had a fucking fourth quarter drive to take the lead, and it was masterful. Like, just one of those classic Shanahan 2-minute joints where you get down, and we left him 27 seconds. That was too much time for Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean?
So it's great. Kittle 8 against the Packers. He went 7 receptions, 92 yards in that game. Didn't get a touchdown, but the best game for any receiver on the Niners that day. And Jimmy's interception, that might have been the difference between winning and losing.
You know what, too? We weren't using Debo out of the backfield like that week. I think this was week 3, that game?
September 26th. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, so it was like week 3. Bruh, I'm trying to...
Trey Sermon was the leading rusher that game.
Right? He got in there. He got a touchdown. He fell in the end zone one time, if I remember correctly. Because, Mitchell was hurt. Like, this is we got some shit for them. You know what I mean? But I just, me, I'm in true fashion, just like going up against the Cowboys. Like, it's still a dangerous team. This is the best team in the league, though. Like, and I think, to be honest, Aaron Rodgers, he has it in his head. It's his favorite team, the 49ers. That's his fucking favorite team growing up. Loves them. Hates them all at the same time because he's 0-6 against the 49ers in the playoffs. 0-6. So in order for him to beat us, at the same time, he's got to snap that losing streak against.
To be the best, you got to beat the best. Yeah, ZP, let's get baked. Let's get it. And Patrick said Allen's a unicorn. Bills 38, Chiefs 0. We'll see. Bengals could win. Yep. No doubt. Science is a wonderful thing. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Chase said Niners are a good team, but Rodgers is the chosen one. Yeah. Ron said I wouldn't count the 49ers out. They match up pretty well against the Packers. They do. Rodgers always finds a way to choke in the playoffs. That he does, Antonio. It's only been one time that he took it the whole way. All right. Let's smoke another bowl. Let's get real baked.
Smoke weed every day.
You got perfect timing. About to start a little puff giving this motherfucker.
I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
Don't give me that shit about it's a drug. It ain't no motherfucking drug. I done the research. It's just a plant. It just grows like that. And if you just so happen to set it on fire, there are some effects.
I'm about to show y'all who the real puff is.
Just hit the blunt one time. Have to be careful because weed is getting stronger every 2 weeks. This shit right here, I got shit to do today. What the fuck?
Man, ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. Weed is from the earth. God put this here for me and you. Take advantage, man.
Oh, man. So throwing in the link again. If you guys want to get into the Discord chat where I got the squares going and the weekly pick'ems, I just threw it in there again. Go hit it up. And I think we're gonna call it a day. I'm gonna be back here in about 2 hours. So make sure you guys tap in. I haven't created the stream yet, but I'll be creating it pretty soon, going over some Super Draft Pro lineups. Gonna be smoking heavy as usual, and then we're gonna be streaming a little bit of the game too. All right, I'm out. Peace.
As I make my way, the fact I'm still alive, my claim to fame. It's no surprise I'm on a rise, finna stake my claim. Separate me from the others, cause we ain't the same. Ask my brothers from another, we ain't for play. Time is money, so we got no time to wait. Soon as this thing's moving, it can't be stopped. Blue bands in my pocket, call that juggernaut.
Anywhere in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your work sure would help a lot.
You know the stat quo. Finna get a bag, bustin' down that blow. Out of East Side Ho, where they know my name.